flushes in one of our stores. So the results so far, well, we're seeing positive trends. We've hit the 25% reduction target. Our Wembley store has reduced by 26% based on 2005's figures, and that's saving one store £100,000. Milton Keynes has biomass heating systems and wood waste energy systems and can now effectively run on renewable energy. Southampton, one of our recently opened stores, is running and has tapped into the local geothermal heating system. And our new store in Dublin is going to have one of the largest geothermal heating systems on the island of Ireland, with predicted cost savings of about 40%. I hope you're going to see that these big investments in time and money by IKEA aren't just an exercise in tree hugging or jumping on the new bandwagon. We've been doing it for years, since we sawed the legs off the first table to put it flat pack into a truck. This is part of our business strategy, and it's also part of our culture. We're not perfect, and in many areas, we have many areas to improve upon, and we're willing to ask for help. But we're also willing to openly share our experiences. Watch this space for the coming year. A new proactive approach to communication and education with hints and tips for sustainable living will be being communicated in our stores. We believe that continued work on these and other environmental issues will provide a benefit to the environment, our customers, and to our bottom line. Thanks very much.
Well, that was a fascinating description of what's going on. I will admit that I went to, the very first large green exhibition like this at the National Exhibition Centre in 1990. And there was a seminar there for business. In fact, almost none of the people at it were businesses, because there weren't many businesses at that show. But there was someone there going on about all the things that business could and should be doing. And I think if you told them 20 years ago that the rainwater harvesting would be being done by one of Britain's largest retailers, people would have been fairly gobsmacked. At that point, rainwater harvesting was being seen as the kind of one of the weirder things that people like the Centre for Alternative Technology were promoting. And there it is, being used in huge sheds, basically, huge retail outlets. So, plenty of opportunities to talk to Charlie later and ask questions. And one of the other things that we probably wouldn't have talked about 20 years ago was voltage optimization. Anyone out in the audience know what voltage optimization is doing at a green show? One person, okay. 2, 3. Well, the rest of you are going to hear a bit more about it any minute, because our next speaker is Angus Robertson, who is the founder and chief executive of Power Perfector, who specialise in energy reduction in large commercial and manufacturing buildings. This is probably the opposite end from you and I installing draft proofing and insulation in our homes. But this is where an awful lot of energy probably goes out through the roofs and walls. So Angus is going to talk about how he's been helping large companies save an awful lot of money and an awful lot of carbon, hopefully. Angus.
Chairman, thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I can see everybody's eyes will glaze over when you think a guy in a suit's going to talk about voltage optimization, and I would feel exactly the same way as you had I not known a lot more about it some 9 years ago, shall we say. First, I'll tell you very simply that all of you will know what voltage optimization is in about 3.5 minutes, and that is quite an important point. Voltage in the UK is delivered in single-phase terms at, as you probably know, around about 242 volts. 240 volts is the average in the UK. Voltage in Europe is delivered at 220 volts. So why is there a difference? The difference is because the grid is designed differently, and historically in the UK we've had higher voltage supply in 3-phase. Now Europe is a huge market, so all of the equipment, the electrical equipment that is used in Europe operates very successfully at 220 volts, 215 volts. But in this country the minimum voltage is only allowed to be 216 volts at this moment, and the average voltage supply is 240. So if you bring voltage down, all of the equipment in this country, which is exactly the same as equipment as you have in Europe, can run at 20 to 25 volts lower feed of electricity. By reducing that voltage level down by 20 volts, you will produce an energy saving. Now that is voltage reduction, and it will give you some savings, but voltage optimization also improves the quality of power going into all of your equipment, so that all your equipment runs with less stress, more efficiently, less harmonics. So as a consequence of improving the power quality, instead of assuming electricity is good, you improve the power quality at the same time as you reduce the voltage. Suddenly, all of your equipment, which is designed to run efficiently in Europe and is running inefficiently in this country, reduces its need for kilowatt hours. Now, as a result of that, and this technology came from Japan because their energy prices 10 years ago were 4 times what they are in this country today. As a result of that, we've been able to bring this technology, taken it from the Japanese market where it's sold extensively in Japan, over 300,000 units, introduce and modify it for the UK voltage system. And we have companies like Tesco, Asda, Sainsbury's, Defra have rolled this technology out. So to date, we've saved something like £21 million worth of energy cost for these major corporations. The Tower of London has been power perfected so that everything is running at lower voltage. And unlike previously where you've looked at petrol and you won't put in 92 or 93 octane petrol into your cars because you'd pink off down the road, now you'd put in 97 or 99 octane and it makes the car more efficient. You drink bottled water, but nobody's ever done anything for electricity before. So this is the first opportunity that all of these businesses in the UK and in Europe as well have to be able to improve the quality of power going to all of their equipment, and as a result their kilowatt hour consumptions reduce. So that very simply is what voltage optimization is. Now yes, it's commercial because it's 3-phase power supply coming into buildings, so we're in manufacturing, retailing, banks, etc. I believe we've just signed a deal with British Energy something like a year ago where they're taking, and British Energy are a major utility provider, they're taking the technology because there's an opportunity with this technology to redefine how electricity is supplied in the UK. So every business, there isn't a building that we've come across yet that cannot benefit from voltage optimization. So that is why I'm here really just to tell you a little bit about that. But I think what's important to understand is the drive for our business to be successful, the drive for any of our businesses to be successful and to be more sustainable comes actually from the public forum. And what we've seen more than anything, and I'm dealing with major companies, is the reasons why they reduce voltage. And this will include IKEA as well, I'm quite sure, and I hope Charlie doesn't disagree with me, or if he does, it will make it for a very interesting afternoon. There are two reasons, there's more than one reason that you do this. It's not just about cost. Tesco's energy bills are huge. They have to reduce their energy bills because energy prices went up. It is about you, the people in the audience, the people in the street, who are forcing the way forward for people to be more green. And all the initiatives that come from events like this will drive that initiative so that you can embarrass finance directors, corporate social responsibility directors, directors of major companies to actually put on a green hat. We have to have a cultural change. And that cultural change can only be brought about by public opinion coming from the floor and then being driven by the champions of industry at the very top, and IKEA is doing exactly that. Their cultural change will embarrass other companies into making their own contribution and committing to a greener future. Because if we don't do it, we don't have a major problem. We may suffer the ultimate disgrace of not being able to live on this planet. So Power Perfector's commitment is A, to spread the word so that we can redefine electricity supply in the UK and reduce carbon emissions. We also sponsor Footprint Friends, which is involved and is a networking site for children from the age of 5 up to 18 years old, and is the largest networking site for the environment for children, and we're here at this show. It's very important that the children, they're the future, so the children have got to be given a voice. So we're taking our technology, and through the fact that we're able to make money out of selling our technology, we can empower Footprint Friends, we can help schools learn more, children learn more about how they can make an impact on the environment. So our focus is not just about selling a technology, it's about education in schools, and we're going to be having a national exhibition during the course of the next 8 months.